What's up, beautiful people? We are back and we are recapping season 10 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Well, this season, Kiara and Wendy are having a little disagreement with Wendy's dismissive behavior, which she's been accused of many a times. Guess who's back? Monique Samuels, and Giselle says she was happy to reconnect with Monique and see if she's still the same person. And of course, the queen herself, the Grand Dame, has finally been released from jail and will have her season 10 premiere on The Real Housewives of Potomac. So listen, join me and Chronicles of the Gray Haired Diva as we recap this season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And it's all in good fun, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to both channels. See y'all soon. You just gotta... Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday, Auntie Diva. How you doing?
How you doing? All is well. What's going on?
Listen, we are here to recap the Braxtons, and oh my God, reality TV is back, Diva. It is back. The real drama, the real family, the real storylines, okay? And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Welcome, everybody. If this is your first, that like button on both channels, Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva, and make sure you subscribe to both channels as well, ROYAIRE's World and Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. Happy birthday, Tay Tay, 29 years old today. Congratulations, hon. We appreciate you for joining us. Hey, Raheem, thank you for joining us as well. Listen, make sure y'all hit that share button. Let the people know we are live and recapping episode 2 of the Braxtons, Trouble in Paradise. Auntie, how you doing? How you feeling? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right. Listen, Trouble in Paradise, okay? Listen, I'm here for this season of the Braxtons because out of all the reality shows, I feel like the Braxtons are keeping it 100. It is not manufactured drama. I feel like it's real drama. I feel like this is really about their lives. And I feel like maybe they are one of the last standing reality shows that is really, truly giving us reality TV. Okay. Yes. This is real with the Braxtons. These are real sisters. Okay. These are real sisters having real problems, and they giving us the real. Okay. They giving us the real 100%. Okay. So we seen it in this episode. I'm loving it. And there's scenes where I'm going to tell you where I know they're keeping it 100. They ain't hiding nothing from the cameras. So I'm here for the Braxtons. I give it up to them. They giving us TV. They're giving us TV that we can watch and be like, okay, I'm tired and I'm talking about somebody bad breath and all this other nonsense. They giving us real storylines and real TV. So holla at the Braxtons, okay?
Holla to the Braxtons. Listen, like you said, Diva, I am totally enjoying this season. It's not a bunch of manufactured drama. It's not, making up contrived storylines to try to put a scene out here. These are real sisters with real life issues that we are even seeing come to fruition, even at the end of this episode. Real health issues, real concerns, where you're having to make real decisions. Am I choosing my sister or am I choosing my husband?
That part.
This is good TV. This is good TV, okay? Listen, before we get into this, I just have to say this, Diva, because it is news to us. And so we have been kind of discussing this over the past few weeks since the information dropped. Wendy Yosefa decided to make a post today. Okay. Here she is in her beautiful picture with her dress that hopefully she did not return. Hopefully
listen, or hopefully she did not list as one of the stolen items. Child, hopefully, okay?
Yes, so Wendy says, and I'll just pull it up over here. Wendy says, and through it all, God remains faithful. Thank you for the outpouring of love, support, and prayers for myself, and most importantly, my family during this time. We are forever grateful. Tune in tonight at Bravo TV for a new episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? And so, Diva, I don't know if y'all can really see here, but the people are commenting, okay? She's got love and support. We got Angela Oakley that's left a comment, sending hearts. Carlos King. Look, Carlos King, he love him some Wendy, okay? The people who commented, they have left their thoughts and opinions. I think I told you earlier, Stacy left a little comment down in the comment section. The people are loving and Wendy.
All right, love on her, honey, because
they're supporting her.
She may need some commissary money. Love on her. That's all I can say.
She gonna need a mommy and daddy daycare. That's what she gonna need.
Child. Love on the sister, okay?
But listen, we are all innocent until proven guilty in our law.
Okay.
So we're gonna hold out hopes for Wendy, but I thought that, I seen that. I said, let me make that a little announcement. She's still fabulous in her pictures, looking good. So hopefully things work out for the Osefas in the best way that they can. But no comment from Karen. She'll save the comments. She will save them. But Auntie, we can go on and get into this. I am ready. So listen, everybody, we are here to recap season 2, episode 2 of the Braxtons, Trouble in Paradise. Okay. And so, Diva, this explosive dinner must have been very explosive, because this is the week that we have reverted back to this sit down dinner table moment. Okay, so the sisters are at the table without Mama E, and I think this is the first time in history that we are having a real sisters conversation without Mama E being involved. And I think that's the best thing, because sometimes when Mama E get involved, she just wants the girls to let it go and all get along. No, we need to work this foolishness out.
Come on now.
The betterment of Tracy's wishes. Okay.
Child. And you know what, though? I'm going to need them to start leaving Tracy out of this.
We got to remember Tracy at all times. They didn't treat her right in life, so we got to treat her right in death.
Okay. All right. Well, I will with you on that, Royairehe, but they got to stop playing on Tracy's name.
Okay.
They got to stop playing on Tracy's name. But you know what? I am in agreement with you. I feel like this thing was really explosive because they keep reverting back to it.
Yes.
They keep reverting back to it, as you said. Yeah. So this thing, that dinner was nasty.
It was nasty.
It was nasty. And I can't wait till they show us the whole thing.
The whole scene, okay? So, we start off with the 4 sisters there. Towanda, they're kind of talking about Tawanda's wedding plans. Towanda says she's getting dressed in tuxedos and getting everything planned out. And it's just been very stressful on her because she felt like her sisters haven't really been there to kind of help pick up, support, and do the things that she once did for all of the girls, okay? Tamar said that she didn't know that she was basically disinvited from being a maid of honor. Okay. She said that, she was ready to help, support, and aren't all of these duties the job of the maid of honor? And Towanda said, well, hold up, wait a minute. When did I say that you was disinvited? When did I say that you were no longer a part of the bridal party? When was that ever announced? Okay. Well, the girls kind of went back and forth from there, and so they cut out of that scene. So they jump us back just a few weeks prior to all the dinner and the sit down. So we jump back in from last week's ending of the episode. We are laughing, loving, and beyond on the podcast, okay? And so Ashlee is up on the stage finally with Tamar. And so Tamar opens up the episode with saying that secrets suck, okay? Family secrets suck. They're horrible. And you got to get the stuff out. And so she turns it over to Ashlee. Tell your story. And so one of the questions that Tamar wanted, Ashlee to answer was, why does she feel necessary to go to social media to tell what was going on from her perspective and in the family? And so Ashlee said, I came from a very famous family. I was very nervous about coming out and telling all of this. When my sister passed away, I realized that time was no more. It didn't matter. I needed to heal me and work on me. And so in order for me to do what I need to do for me, I need to get out here and tell the people how to help themselves. I need to tell them that they are not the only ones going through this. They're not the only victims. I'm a victim too. But we can overcome this. And we can all work this out.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome. And so she says she does not blame herself. any of this going on, is taking accountability and responsibility.
Amen.
On her own. To heal herself and heal others. Tamar, you know, she apologized publicly to Ashlee for not being present and being there.
So dramatic.
Coming on the show and telling her side of the story. And they ended off the podcast, okay? So overall, personally, Diva, I felt the podcast went really well. From what was shown. I don't think they did too much. I don't agree with everything that was said. But, you know, if you feel like you got to go on social media to heal yourself, then I guess you do what you got to do. But at the same token, you cannot throw your hands and then tell people how to return the fight.
You cannot. You cannot.
So those were those two scenes. If you have anything to say about the dinner and the first scene with the podcast.
Yeah, so the dinner, like you said, it was intense. Because even the way they were sitting there, she said, you know, wedding dresses, wedding plans, you know, and Tamar said, yeah, and cease and desist. She said, y'all try to shut my business down. Okay. And she said, so she said, you know, and she said she was relieved of her wedding duties. And Towanda tried to act like that ain't so. You know what I noticed about Towanda? She tell half truths. She don't really be telling the truth. Okay, even Toni's reaction, she was giving guilty. Yeah, 100%. Toni's reaction was giving guilty. Toni wants to preserve her persona in the you know, her image.
Unique, kind, you know, just nice person.
What's that word they all said? Demure, or whatever that word is. She wants to pretend.
Demure.
She wants to pretend, right? But Toni, we see you.
We see each other.
We see each other, okay? Towanda and Trina are both sneaky. I agree with you. They both sneaky. So Towanda and Trina are in bed together. Toni and Tamar on their own separate islands alone. So I will say that dinner we could tell is intense. And Tamar, she's speaking the truth. She's telling the family business, and that's why Toni is pissed, right? Because Toni, I do believe Toni told her, if Ashlee's going to tell her story, let's get the ratings for our show and have Ashlee tell it on the show. I do believe that Toni said that, but of course they're going to hide it. And she said somebody gave somebody the address, so give me this cease and desist. You better talk, Tamar. Let us know the business, okay? So, you know, they talked about that Tulum, Mexico bachelorette trip. And then we got the Life, Love, and Beyond, you know, podcast. And they, again, family secrets are make you sick. I get it. And she asked her, like you said, why did you go to social media to tell the story? And here we go again with Ashlee. She wanted to talk on the dead sister. Talking about, you know what, once my sister died, I felt like, you know, the truth had to come out, whatever the case may be, and all of this other stuff. And all I could say to that is, yeah, that family, they're a hot mess, Nita. All I could say to that is that, you know, we can't tell people how to speak their truth. But I also want to say this, Royaire. I also feel like, I don't know, there's a time and place for everything, and everything don't have to be in the streets, right? So you didn't talk about that Burley, MJ, and Trina, ladies of honors, you know. Okay, so I'll jump to this whole podcast situation. I thought, you know, the therapist spoke. I thought it was what it was. I don't know what to say about that podcast because they didn't really show us actually saying much.
Yeah.
They didn't. And I guess maybe because they want us to physically go to Tamar's podcast to watch it.
It was giving cease and desist is what it was giving.
Yeah. And yeah, that's true. And then, you know, her and Ashlee hugging at the end. I thought it was great. That one thing Tamar going to give you is Tamar going to give you drama.
Yes. And
that hug at the end and telling her, I hope you feel good and all that. You know, it was what it was, but I'm here for whatever it is, Royaire. I'm here for it. It's
yeah. But so it looks like, not to cut you off, It looks like she only did 7 episodes of her podcast, which was last year. I think I was telling you about this. I do not see Ashlee's podcast up here at all.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
Very cease and desist. The cease and desist must have worked.
Yes. No weapon
for child, honey, the cease and desist must have worked. Yeah, they a hot mess. But you know what though? Honestly, most families are a hot mess. It's just the degree of a hot mess that they are. But who would have known the Braxtons had all of this going on? But Toni definitely seems like she has carved herself out. But Toni, you could carve yourself back in because you and Birdman got something strange going on over there too. So stop.
Yes.
Stop trying to portray to us like you above all the rest when you just as messy and now you allegedly got this messy husband. So whatever, Toni. Yeah. Just show us. And Toni, why are we seeing your husband?
Yeah. Nikki says she doesn't think that the sisters did the cease and desist. She thinks it was their brother that did that to Tamar.
It is possible because she said, because Tamar did say y'all gave the address. But Trina was the only one that said my name wasn't on the cease and desist. Ashlee was engaging with Trina's husband. How is that Trina's fault? I feel like the same way too, right? I don't. Well, let me take that back. Let me say this. They're saying that Ashlee was of age, which I don't think she was when she was having this communication with the husband. Was she of age?
From my understanding, she was between 17 and 18. In some states, that is considered of age. So I can only speak to what allegedly has been said. Okay, some Lawson is saying she was 16.
Oh, that's not of age. That's not of age. She's still a child. That's not of age. This thing is sticky and we need to know a little bit more details, but 16 is not of age.
Correct.
At all. So, but either way, as that's supposed to be your niece, so you just wrong anyway. If you look at it, he wrong. Because that's supposed to be your niece. You married the family, that is your niece.
Yeah, it's all messy. It's all very messy. All very inappropriate. Yeah.
It's sad. And it's sad. And lives were destroyed and family is just messed up.
But you know what I thought was interesting? And sometimes you can't, but I thought it was very interesting, and I'm glad that she did, but I thought it was very interesting that Tamar's apologized for not being there for Ashlee to support her when all of this was going down. But that's always it's interesting to me because why were you not there to support her knowing what happened to you? If you know that this was something that has happened in y'all's family, it happened to you, this is something that is known about, where was that support then when she came out?
Well, you know what happens, Roya, honestly, if I'm over here broken and you over there broken, sometimes I ain't got the strength to go help you in your brokenness because I'm broken over here too.
Well, you're right.
And we know that Tamar has always, even before all of this Ashlee stuff came out, when they first did Braxton Family Values, we saw that Tamar had a lot going on. We saw when Iyanla came to Fix Your Life, Iyanla put Tamar business out in the street and Tamar was pissed. So Tamar did have a lot going on, so I'm not going to blame her for that, right? Yeah, I can't help you if I can't help myself. There it is, Tasha, you can't. I ain't got the wherewithal to help you because I'm over here drowning. It's like two drowning people trying to save each other. It can't happen. Thought the age was 16. Even if she was 17, 18, you should have known since she was a little girl. Sick either way. It is. It's sick either way.
very sick. Yeah.
He's sick either way. It's not like she was an adult engaging with him. It seemed like, what was his name again? May he rest in peace. What was his name?
Gabe.
Gabe has some issues, it seemed like. This the Braxtons alone, all of their marriages, it seemed like there was something going on.
Yeah.
She had something going on with her husband at the time. Toni broke up with her husband. And Towanda with her husband. They just had some, and then we found out on the back end that Tamar and what's the name wasn't even doing as well as they said they was.
Vince. Mm-hmm.
Vince, yeah. So they had husband issues on top of everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. Woo, it's all crazy, but those were those two scenes. So we'll move on to the next. Trina and some friends are meeting up. So Towanda, she is going to not have bridesmaids, but she's going to have ladies of honor, okay? She will have a junior bridesmaid, which will be her daughter, Brooks. And so the ladies wanted to come together to get some robes made because they're going to be going to Tulum. And so they wanted to get monogram. Is it monogram? Is that the right word?
Yeah, you got it right. You got it right.
They wanted to get monogram robes and just a few items for the ladies to have a memorable moment for Towanda's bridal shower. Okay, Towanda, sisters. Sorry, the sisters will not be there. Tracy or Trina. Well, Tracy as well. Trina. Toni, thank you, will not be present. Unfortunately, Toni is working on her Vegas residency still, which got pushed into 2026. And then Tamar, she is touring with October London and has her own events going on. So the ladies asked whether or not the sisters would be there. Trina will be the only one present. There will be no strippers at this event. Now, I thought that was very different because as we flashed back to Trina's bridal shower, there were strippers and drinks and straw dicks and straw candy. And I mean, just, it was all kinds of stuff related to the sex. It was all about sex at Trina's bachelorette party, which in all honesty lines up with who Trina really is. I mean, we have all known that Trina was very fluid, as she talked about. You know, her and Gabe, you know, did their things in their relationship. Remember when she was messing with that man in the band, allegedly, you know, so Trina's free. You know, she got out on the boat one time and flashed her boobs to the world. So she's free in her sexual spirit, okay? But Towanda and her husband have agreed not to have strippers. It's going to be a good, clean, fun time. They did find a little bag to monogram for Towanda's daughter as well for a keepsake for her. And so the ladies are excited about going to Tulum. They're excited about the trip, and hopefully everything will go well with that. So then we get another scene with Towanda. Okay, now Towanda was out running her errands, handling her business, getting ready for the wedding. Okay, Tawanda's getting ready to cross the street,
and she dropped Sean off at the airport.
Okay. So she was in a car.
Yeah, she was in a car. She dropped Sean off at the airport.
I thought she got hit by a car physically.
She did, but she was dropping Sean off at the airport.
Okay.
And after she dropped him off, she was walking back to her car, and that's when the car hit her.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. So Towanda was rushed to the hospital.
But wait, before she was rushed, because we got to throw this in.
Yeah, give me.
Sean saw the whole thing. Yeah. He came back out. I can't stand you right here. Oh, child. He came back out. And he laid down by her side until the ambulance showed up. He laid right next to her on the ground. Okay? Till the ambulance showed up and took her to the hospital.
Go ahead. So she gets to the hospital. She has a sprained wrist. She tells us, you know, she was crossing the street. She said, "Oh my God, I've been hit by a car." Next thing you know, she was laid out on the ground. Sean rushes over to her and lays there with her, tells her he loves her, comforts her, and waited on the ground, laying there alongside of her until the ambulance showed up. Okay. Towanda, she's got, like I said, a sprained wrist, so she's gonna have to have a cast. This is, just very unfortunate for her because she's planning her dream wedding, and this was not a part of her dream wedding, being in a cast. So she's not happy about it. Okay. Sean, decided to get some hair on his head. Towanda says she was at home. Sean comes home. Says, "Hey, babe." She look up. He got a whole toupee on. He just faded down the sides. Got the top off, fresh and everything. She says she loves her man. And if he wants his hair, he can have it. While she's, laying there in the hospital bed, we receive a phone call from Toni Braxton, okay? And Toni had called Towanda. "Girl, you okay? What's going on? How you feeling? I heard you got hit by a car. You don't need to go nowhere." Playing her role as she always does. And so Toni feels that Towanda does not need to go to any island, and Towanda said, "I'm not going to an island. I'm going to Mexico, to Tulum. And if I got to drag my left leg all the way there, I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to miss my bachelorette party that my girls are throwing for me." Okay? So that was that little scene with Towanda. Best wishes to Towanda. I'm sure she's feeling better by now. But that's got to be scary. I've been in 2 car accidents maybe, and I was actually in a car. I can't imagine walking across the street and being hit by a car. So I'm glad that she's okay, all jokes aside. I'm glad that everything worked out, and that she wasn't banged up too bad, because that could have been a lot worse. A whole lot worse.
Yeah, and this is why I said they keeping it real, because she let us know one of her veneers got knocked out of her mouth. They showed us with the nose scratched up.
Yeah, it's
broken, and she might have needed surgery and was going to get a hard cast and all this other stuff. And they kept it real. I'm personally not into the man weaves, but if that's what Sean wants to do, it is what it is. I wasn't.
I have a problem with it, and I'm gonna put it out here on Front Street, and I'm finna go off for a second. So forgive me, people.
I'm gonna listen.
Let me say this right quick, okay? Now listen, I've been gay all my life, okay? All of it.
You said your whole life.
All of it. Ain't never been with a female.
Out the womb.
Out the womb, okay? I was born this way, okay?
Tell the people, okay?
And growing up, I've never been a super masculine man, okay? And the people used to torture me for that, all right? The men was always mean to me, disrespectful, rude, just trifling, okay? Used to get my little nails done. I ain't done it in a little while, but I would get a little clearing on them. Have them looking nice and fresh. I keep the face beat. I keep the skin taken care of.
Come on now.
And all of that stuff. I've had pretty long hair most of my life. Now, all of a sudden, Diva, the men want to get wigs and weaves and do their nails and carry purses and bags and all of this stuff. Why all of a sudden are we accepting of all this? Because when I was doing it, I was a fag. I was gay. I was a little punk. All of this stuff. Now the men want to put a wig and a weave on their head. I got a problem with it. And I don't like it.
Well, you know what, Roy, I love you. And you know what though? I've never understood what people's obsession was with what other people do.
Yes.
It's so heart-wrenching to me. And I really feel like if the world had more love and more understanding, why do I care what my next door neighbor is doing as long as my next door neighbor ain't hurting nobody, not doing nothing to the kids? Do you, okay? And I'm into the upkeep of the men. Get your manicure, get your pedicure. I just don't know if I'm into the man weaves. I'm just personally not. If you have lost your hair, let it go and let's move on, right? And listen, if me and my man got to go to the stylist and be in the stylist for hours because he's getting his weave and I'm getting mine, it's just too much. Somebody need to be home with the kids. We don't go on Saturday in the salon for 5+ hours because you getting your due done and I'm getting mine. But hey, he got it. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I will say this: it does look very natural. So these things,
it looks really good. It looks very natural. You know, whoever did a great job. I see a lot of men doing it nowadays, especially on social media. You know, I see the people laying it out and cutting it and making it, you know, do what they do. It's very nice. And all jokes aside, I'm not really serious, everybody. So don't.
We're just having good fun. We're just
it's interesting how we have.
I mean, it's a nice unit. It really is. He must have paid. That's what they call it. That's what they call it. Listen. You know, he must have paid
hair unit. Look, what Sheree just would have shifted a little bit.
Okay, you know, he probably paid a nice little penny for it or whatever the case may be. So, but he did look good. But I just happen to not be into them, right? But he did look good. You know, I still don't have 100% love for Sean. I'm giving him the side eye, but. Really? I'm gonna get there because I will say this: him coming and laying on the ground while she was. Oh God, my stomach hurt. Him coming and laying on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I had some my heart. I got a little heart powder, you know, for him because he came and lay.
Was so loving about it. She said, "Never had I had ever somebody just love me so much to come and lay on the ground next to me while I've been hit by a car." That's real love. I want that kind of love, Diva. Come and lay next to me when I get hit by a car.
Yeah, you know what I do too, but I also feel like, where's the sun? That's what I want to know, right? Where's the sun at? I want to know where the sun is. And I also feel like when you have a blended family,
I think he's in college because he's the oldest son. He's the older son, and this is Brooke. This was her senior year, so he may have been away for school.
Maybe so. But I also, and maybe we'll see him at the wedding. Now, I will also say this: when you have a blended family, you gotta tread lightly. And I know she's in love with her new husband now, but you still got kids by the ex. And at the end of the day, when you was traveling with Toni and she was working y'all for free, your ex-husband was home watching the kids. Okay. So Sean should get Towanda a You know what? I don't think she looks bad with her bald head. I don't.
I hate it. I'm sorry. I hate it. I want Towanda to put a wig on her head.
I think
she has a beautiful face. It works very well for her. But I think because I met Towanda with hair on her head, that is who I remember. That's who I align with. So I'm used to just seeing her with hair on her head.
I don't know.
She still looks good.
Yeah, I think she's beautiful. Listen. That whole family is beautiful with some nice genes. And what I think is sad though is Felicia just started.
Where are we staying safe from?
Well, there's been some things about Sean, but unless it come out like in a physical article, we're gonna let that be what it is. We're gonna let that be what it is. But I will say that I like Towanda. I think she's fine with her look. And listen, we don't need her out here frauding so she can have wigs and stuff for her head. Because listen, what we did notice is that the people now in these reality shows, they be doing the most to have the glam and all of that. Mm-hmm. So if she could save on a wig or two, let her sit up there with her bald head and keep it pushing, and just have the makeup artist come and put the makeup on the head too, so everything blend as one. Okay, we're gonna let her be. We're gonna let her be. But the hospital scene, it was cute. I appreciate her showing us the real authentic situation and saying she was scared. I appreciate Sean coming by her bedside. Initially, you know, I'm of a mixed bag. Since she survived it and it was just her wrist, go ahead and get to Thank you, Emmanuel. Go ahead and get to, because honestly, if I tell you the truth, I got my pajamas on under this. That's why I got it all thrown over like this. But anywho, but honestly, I just feel like, they're keeping it real. They're keeping it 100. And I'm liking that because we saw the bruise on her nose and everything, right? So, and I like the fact that Sean came and he was by his side, and obviously he missed his flight too, wherever he was going. Maybe he was going to Tulum also. I don't know. Maybe he was going before her, but I know he missed his flight because she was actually taking him to the airport. This whole scene with Trina and the ladies of honor, everybody want to do the most when it comes to these weddings. Now you don't have bridesmaids. You call them ladies of honor. I guess she changed the name because she know that I think she is playing with Tamar, right? Mm-hmm. You sending Tamar a whole message to be the maid of honor, and then Tamar sends you a whole video saying thank you and she's honored, and then later on you revoke that whole situation. I mean, listen, I really feel like Towanda is work. She a piece of work. I do feel like she be playing in Tamar's face. And I do feel like exactly what Tamar says, that Towanda don't speak to her until we TV call and say we about to start filming again. I do believe that. And the reason why I really believe that is because this year Scratchy is not even going to be on the show. And I heard Scratchy is not going to be on the show because of Towanda. So Towanda be playing games behind the scenes. And and now she want to tell us too, we'll see later, that they got all these nicknames for her. Towanda, we see you and you full of crap, but you know what? I'm going to be here for your wedding this season, and I'm going to see you walk down the aisle because I'm engaged, everybody. I'm engaged, whatever. Okay. Okay. And then
so everybody think that Towanda is like the master manipulator behind everything, because that's what it's giving from the people. Like everybody just thinks Towanda is like this master manipulator from what I hear of most people. They think that she's like this. Okay.
That's what I feel, Royaire. That's what I really
y'all let us know down in the comment section. Do y'all feel that Towanda is like the master manipulator of all of the sisters and behind everything? Or is she just a sister out here trying to make her voice heard like everybody else? Leave your thoughts below.
And you know what? And let me just say this real quick. Toni in this tour, and she can't make it, but she can make it, but she gonna try to make it. Toni is so full of crap too. Toni wants this WeTV check, but she don't want to put in the work, right? So Toni does these little phone calls. She does these little confessionals. I'm ready for them to tell Toni, either you come to work and you clock in and you work, or you don't show up. I feel like Toni is getting a big fat check, the same money that the other sisters are getting. They putting in all the work, and Toni just coming with this crap about her tour and her heart condition. And Toni, please, we gonna need you to work.
Yes.
And she calling mommy, and she calling Towanda. Don't go to. She didn't even know where Towanda was supposed to be going. She's like, don't go on the island. She's like, I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to Tulum. And even Sean was annoyed. He was like, where did she get you was going on the island?
You going on the island? I didn't know you was
Toni is like out there, not working, not doing her job. And I'm sick of Toni. Toni, we need you to work. WeTV, you giving her a check, tell her to clock in and work. Sitting up there in her nice little black dress, looking like Toni Braxton, because Toni know how to get face. She always gonna look good. She always gonna look good. And Toni's been the same size her whole entire life and career. She always gonna look good. She look good sitting there in that black, but you're not gonna distract me with that, Toni. I need you to work.
Earn that check. Clock in.
Clock in.
So next up, we have Tamar at a photo shoot. So Tamar is getting ready to go on tour. She is doing promotion. She's going on tour with October London. Tamar calls on Philip as she's getting ready, which is her music exec and producer, to find out if he can see how far the airport is from Tulum, where they're staying. According to her friend, who's a pilot, she needs to find out, I guess, so that she can kind of time her way back and forth as need to be. Philip said that he don't want to go. And Tamar said, I need you to go because you are my support system. If you don't come, I ain't going. And so Philip tries to say, listen, that's your sister. You need to be there to support her. Go pull up for your sis. Go for the bridal shower.
Like Phil is a support dog. Talking about
not a support dog. He looked like a little pit bull, a little support pit bull animal.
I'm like, yo, Phil was like, I ain't going, period.
And so Tamar said, well, she's not going to the bridal shower, nor will she be going to the wedding because the wedding is in the same weekend as her birthday.
Now that's messy.
Ain't that messy?
That's messy.
Now, she said that she has not talked to Towanda in months. And all of a sudden, she received a box in the mail requesting that Tamar be a bridesmaid for the wedding. Tamar sent a nice little FaceTime video. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Congratulations. Of course, I'll be a bridesmaid. Of course, I'll be there to celebrate and help plan everything. Well, she said she never heard anything back. Then it's time to go on this trip to Tulum. Well, she didn't go on the trip because she didn't hear nothing from Towanda. Towanda ain't gave her no plan. She ain't heard from the wedding planner. Nothing. She don't know anything. So as far as she concerned, Philip ain't going. She ain't going. So she will not be there, okay? You know, in the midst of all of this as well, Tamar is trying to get ready for this photo shoot. And so apparently someone had some miscommunication on her team because she didn't understand why she was holding a martini glass with a little drink in her hand while she was taking this picture. Well, her assistant dropped the ball in sharing the information with the creative direction, and she called a little sidebar with the team because she was being what? A diva. She don't understand. Why is this happening? I didn't know about this. So they had to go have a little sidebar. The creative directive came in. He said, well, what about another drink? She said, how about a beer? Because my people, my girls, they don't come in with no martini. They coming in ready to party and have fun. She don't want the people to think that this is a Toni Braxton show. This is Tamar. It's all about Tay, okay? So they figured that out. They had their little photo shoot plan. All of that, you know, worked out together in the moment. We head over to Towanda's party, okay? The girls are headed to Tulum. There are going to be 28 girls that are going to come and support Towanda. You know, she wishes that her sister Tracy was going to be there because Tracy always came with the positive vibes, the laugh, the love, the fun moments. And so she's really missing Tracy in this moment. While Towanda, you know, was going to her room to kind of relax and have a woosah moment, her friend came in and asked her, you know, you okay, friend? What's going on? What you feeling? And so Towanda explained to her friend that she really wanted her sisters to be here to support her through this moment. And the girls didn't show up. Trina was the only one that's there. She said, I planned Toni's wedding, Tamar, Trina, and Tracy's. And so I wanted the girls to be there for me like I was there for them, and they're not. And so Towanda's friend had to explain to her, you've been doing everything for your sisters all your life. And they don't know how to give in return what you have given because you've done it for them. You can't give what they don't have.
Oh my gosh.
But you got to be honest with your sisters and let them know.
Let them know.
They have not been here to support you.
Oh my goodness.
And it has disappointed you and hurt your feelings.
Oh my.
I said, wow. Come on, friend. Telling the truth about what's really going on. So, you know, Towanda goes out, you know, anything on that moment, Diva?
Well, this tour and Tamar in this tour, right? You know, I understood Tamar's take on it because her and Toni do have completely different brands. And if you make it look one way, it is going to look like it's a Toni Braxton production versus a Tamar. You know, Tamar is so dramatic, but I get it. And in the end, they wrapped it and pulled it together. Phil straight up letting her know, no, I'm not coming to this bridal shower or whatever with you. And he said, but you should go figure this out on your own. I'm not mad at him. Okay. Tamar always needs somebody to go with her, but Tamar's gonna have to find her a good girlfriend that is not her worker to go on with her on these different excursions and trips. You understand what I'm saying? So Phil stood his ground, and I was proud of him for standing his ground. He said, "No, not me, not today. I'm not going." Right. So I appreciated that, and I appreciated that they finally got the photo shoot situation situated. Okay, so they did that because she said it got to make sense, and her holding a martini glass didn't make sense. Her holding a beer, I guess, made sense. I don't know, but it is what it is. The photos was cute. It was a cute photo shoot session, right?
Yes.
This whole Tulum in Mexico. 28 girlfriends is a lot. And I think when you have 28 friends that are going to go with you and agree to go to Mexico, because they got to pay. I think that speaks a lot to her friendship crew that actually had 28 people that were willing to go. And it didn't seem like made up people. It seemed like these were really like her true friends. So I'm going to give her that. And I do feel like, yes, Towanda in that sense, because listen, we know that all of them, all the sisters supported Toni and was backup singers for her, except Tracy, right? Was backup singers for Toni for years. That alone should make Toni get her life together, figure out her schedule, and be supportive to her sisters. Because early on her career, if it wasn't for her sisters doing backup, she wouldn't have been able to afford no backup singers. Because as we know, this is not being shady. Toni filed for bankruptcy several times. So your sisters have saved you as being their backup singers. I do believe that Towanda has been a supportive sister, and I feel like Toni and Tamar should have bit the bullet and did more and been there for their sister. You can't keep telling us y'all doing this for Tracy, but yet y'all doing the same shenanigans that Tracy was telling y'all was messy when she was alive. Yeah. So if y'all want to start to do better for Tracy, then y'all going to have to start to show up for each other and stop doing the same nonsense that y'all was doing before Tracy died.
Yes.
Because it's not honoring her memory. So I think they're full of crap, and you knew your sister was getting married. You know the roundabout time when things are going to happen. So figure out your schedule, figure out your life, and be there for Towanda for her wedding. Because I think that's the right thing to do.
Moment. Also, I love that Trina was, because she did have a moment to express in the group how she felt while Trina was there as well. I want to say it was maybe 3 or 4 of the ladies. Yeah. And so I love the fact that Trina was very receptive to what Towanda had to say, and that she's seeing things from Tawanda's standpoint and aspect. Sometimes it's hard for us to see things from other people's aspect, especially when we're used to them doing everything and handling everything. But I love the fact that Trina sees it, she acknowledged it, and she's really trying to be there to help support Towanda in that moment. As well, in that scene, we received a phone call from Toni. Toni did announce that unfortunately she was not going to make it. She had a show in Miami. I'm assuming that they're having another bridal shower in the States, because she said that she will be at the bridal shower. So I'm assuming there will be another bridal shower.
It's a bachelorette party was in Tulum, and then the bridal shower is going to be later on.
Gotcha. Okay.
She said she was coming to that.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Okay. I ain't never married people. Sorry.
The bachelorette party is usually a little wilder.
Okay.
A little out there, and then the bridal shower is a little calmer, where if you got Nana, aunties or whatever, then they can all come to the bridal shower because it's a little calmer versus the bachelorette party where they usually wild out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, Toni told the ladies told Towanda that she would not make it, but she'll be at the bridal shower. Tamar, of course, is not going to be there. Toni, was calling to check on Towanda to see how she's feeling. Are you resting? Towanda was like, I can't hear you. Thank you. Gotta go. Click. So she released that phone call from Toni. And then in the next scene, I'll just throw this in here as well. The ladies headed out into the city of Tulum to have a little fun for the day. So they went zip lining. Towanda unfortunately could not participate because her arm was messed up. But her daughter got up there and participated. Brooke was scared to death, but she did it. She overcame her fear. Trina also did it as well. Trina said that this reminded her of parasailing with Tracy. The last time that they were, together doing excursion, Tracy had a little accident on herself. So Trina was going to be riding by herself this time. And then I'll throw this little scene in as well. Tamar went to go get her nails done, and she discussed with her team that she wants the people to know that she's serious out here in these streets. We can't be making mistakes, mess ups, and not taking accountability for our part. It's not about just me, Tamar. It's about our business, our team. If people think that I'm a diva and that we fool around, nobody is going to work with us. Her assistant did drop the ball. Darius took responsibility for dropping the ball on that, and so they moved on from that as well. The ladies had a little ladies' night after that scene. They opened up, with some games. I want to say one of them was a make me laugh game. So you had to make one person laugh. And so that was a little entertaining moment. And then we had a who knows Towanda best moment. Okay. So the ladies are asking questions. Who was Tawanda's first crush? Who was Tawanda's first date? Where did her and Sean go on their first date? Was one of the questions that came up. And so the people were looking for Trina. Diva, have you seen Trina? Towanda, where's Trina? Well, Trina was in the back room. And she received a phone call from her husband, Vaughn. Apparently, unfortunately, Vaughn had to be rushed to urgent care. He has heart failure. And so Trina said, oh my God, I'm headed out on the next thing smoking. Vaughn said, well, why? And she said, well, how would you feel if this was me? I'm on my way. And so that was the ending of this episode 2, Trouble in Paradise. My notes got a little fuzzy at the end, Diva. My notes are not showing up in my thing. So if I missed anything, feel free to.
No, you did good. So, Toni called Miss Evelyn. And Miss Evelyn didn't know about the bachelorette party. And she's talking about, I think it was good that Miss Evelyn didn't know. Somebody put in the chat, I forgot who put in the chat, that they said Miss Evelyn did a horrible job raising these girls because she was still so bitter. Oh my God, because she was still so bitter. Miss Evelyn, I don't care what nobody say, Royaire. Miss Evelyn never got over. Oh my God. Oh my God, I saw her. Evelyn, she never got over that her husband, breaking up with her. And I feel for women that stay stuck in their previous relationship. It is bad. Okay, we understand. Like you was heartbroken. He left you with all of these kids, and he married the girl or with the girl, whatever the case may be. It is terrible, but it happens to a lot of people, Royaire. I'm not saying it right, but it happens. You have got to get over it, Miss Evelyn, and pick yourself up and put the pieces back together.
Yeah.
But I think she was so distraught and intertwined with grief that this is not what she got now. This is the Braxtons. This is what she got. Yeah. It's a mess with the brothers. It's a mess with the sisters. It's a mess with the niece, Ashlee. It's just a hot, stinking mess. So Mama Evelyn was out there waiting for one of her girlfriends to meet her for tea and whatever, right? So, this whole thing and them going zip lining, it was cute. But what I didn't like was when they showed Brookie, the daughter, they said the daughter of Towanda and Sean. That is not Sean's daughter. That is his bonus daughter. If we want to get cute and use those names, that's his stepdaughter, but that is not his daughter. Another man helped Towanda make that girl, and she needs to stop playing games because she's doing like her mama. She needs to stop playing games. You chose that man at that time. He is their father, and I think that the way they wrote that, I thought was messy, right? So, Andre, that's right. You're right. Her daddy is, come on, Felicia. Her daddy is Andre. Don't do that. I thought that was real messy. And I said she's walking in the same tracks as her mother, and it's a hot, stinking, nasty, filthy mess. Okay, we're not going to act like apparently Andre isn't in their lives anymore. Well, Andre probably isn't in their lives anymore because she blocked it.
Andre looks good.
Yeah, he does. That's a younger picture of him and the daughter. I mean, he was raising them kids before. He was raising them kids when she was out there on the tour bus. We ain't got to hate on Andre now. So this is a hot, stinking mess, and I don't like it. And I want to see, we got to see if we can get Andre to come tell his story. We got to hit Andre up, Royaire. Because we need to hear from Andre. We need to hear his side. We got to hear all sides in this situation. Andre, if you watching, we want to talk to you. The Diva Royaire. Okay. So I saw them put that up on the screen. I said, I see y'all. Yeah, I don't like
that. So good catch. Because I totally missed that.
I saw that. And you know what? We don't talk about the kids, but I wasn't 100% here for the blue hair. But okay. Well, I'm gonna move on. Okay. So then we saw Tamar getting her nails done and telling her team, you know, this was wrong, what happened, and we can't do that. The assistant, I think, needs to get fired.
Oh.
Yeah, because even the assistant, when she was sitting there getting her nails done, I didn't like the way the assistant, he's young, but I didn't like the way he was sitting there still looking clueless. Yeah, no, this is Tamar Braxton. And I'm going to need you to wake up and be a true assistant, if that's who you are. Even the tour manager was sitting there like, da-da-da-da. No, if y'all got the manifest or whatever they want to call it to say this how the photo shoot going to go down, you need to clear it with Tamar. Tamar paying these people and I can't. Okay?
Well, and see, to that fact of the matter that you brought up, that's why I don't blame him too much, because Tamar ain't that serious either. You can't be. You can't be. For you to let your business slide through your fingers like that, you cannot be that serious. And for someone to be around you and be that comfortable to let something like this happen and just kind of let it slide off their back, this is normal behavior, obviously. This is obviously normal behavior. So I ain't putting much on him.
Oh my God. Okay. So she spoke to Towanda, and she did tell Towanda, you know what, you guys speak to your sisters, because I known you for years. And Towanda, she spoke in the atmosphere, and Trina was there, but her and Trina are really already close. So Trina didn't feel no kind of way because Trina knew she wasn't talking to her. So no, if you really want to get gangster, Towanda, you do a conference call or a Zoom. Oh my God, don't make me mad. You do a Zoom with Toni, Tamar, Trina, and you, and you bring Mama Evelyn in if you have to, and say, y'all did me dirty. I'm getting married. I had a bachelorette party. I got 28 girlfriends there, and y'all ain't there. That's a mess. And I don't know how many lady of honors do she have. How many people are going to be walking down this aisle with her? How many of these ladies were ladies of honor?
Well, I didn't think she had a bridal party, right? Or like
she's just calling them ladies of honor.
Oh.
I need to know how many ladies of honor are walking down this aisle with her. This is a lot. And then, you know, at the bachelorette party, there was some men there. Did you notice that?
There was a guy there. I seen one of the guys. Yeah, I did see.
I think there was two.
Okay, maybe they the gays.
They had on the purple pajamas.
Maybe they're part of the community.
I'm gonna slap you. I can't. I ain't dealing with you right now with that. But I saw some men there, and I said, okay, the men's is at the bachelorette party. She had a lot of people there, though.
It was a lot of people.
She had a lot of people that went to
very supportive. She's a very supportive group of people.
She does.
Is very beautiful, in my opinion, because Towanda is the assistant of the family.
Yeah.
So she's used to taking care of and not being taken care of. So it seems like she has a nice group of people around her who help to hold her accountable about taking care of yourself, and who help to take care of her in those moments where she's lacking. So that's a beautiful thing. And like you said, 28 people, that's a lot of people, Diva. So that speaks to the friendship and to the person that you are in real life. For people to come out of their homes, out of the United States, to go to Mexico, you know, to be there to spend their coin, that speaks volumes.
I think it does too, because sometimes you can throw stuff in your own town and the people calling you up at the last minute talking about, I tripped, I fell, my mama's sick, I can't come, and you done paid for a piece of chicken for them at your event. So
yeah, don't show up at all and don't say nothing.
That part, yeah. So to have that many people actually go to Tulum, I thought it was a nice thing. I really did. And they all had on the pajamas and the gowns and the colors and all of that.
We forgot to mention Mama Braxton's book, For Better or Worse. You know,
can you bring it up? Can you bring up
I can, because I feel like that was the perfect title for Mama Braxton's book. Because sis is definitely still bitter.
Woo, child. I mean, it's 100 years later. Are you going to go to the grave still hating on this man and he over there with the new wife living his best life? What are we doing, Brian?
What are we doing? Let's see. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, take your time.
Yeah. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? I was just like, okay, Mama Braxton, you gonna tell us your story about exactly what happening? What are you sharing with us that we don't already know? Well, I guess the book ain't out, Diva, because I don't see nothing about the book. I do see where she did her podcast, and I did watch that podcast. It was giving bitter. It was giving mad as hell.
To this day, that just don't make no sense.
Yeah.
It just
I don't see anything on this book.
Oh, you don't?
Bitter or Worse. By Evelyn Brown. Maybe it ain't out yet.
Felicia, don't do that. She said right next to Worthy by Jada Pinkett Smith. Don't do that, Felicia. Don't do that. Come on, Worthy. I got Jada. I don't know why everybody hates on Jada. I ain't got no problem with Jada, but you know, Mama Braxton. I don't know where the book at. I guess we find it later. Maybe you got to hit Mama Jackson up and say, "Is the book really out?"
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at her Instagram page. I don't see anything promoting the book.
Maybe Papa Jackson put a. I'm saying Papa Braxton put a cease and desist. Papa Braxton put a cease and desist.
Yeah. Oh, well, she on here showing some. Okay, happy birthday to her beautiful, intelligent granddaughter Ashlee Braxton. May your day be truly amazing, and may your dreams turn into realities.
Okay.
I'm incredibly proud of you. Mom loves you so much. Look at her.
Okay, now, Miss Evelyn Braxton, shout out to Denise.
Not you puts the worst pictures up here, Lord Jesus.
You stupid.
All righty. Well, I guess we're still working on the book for Mama E.
Okay. Follow Mama E. Hit that follow button. You got to know when she posts this book. Okay.
Okay. Come on with your morning devotionals. God's plan is always the best. Sometimes the process is painful and hard, but don't forget that when God is silent, he's doing something for you. All right.
Amen. Come on now. Amen. All right, Mama Braxton, whatever with that book. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll check back in at the end of the season.
So, you know, now I will say this. It was heart-wrenching at the end. Congestive heart failure is very serious.
Yes.
A lot of Black men go through that. we gotta take care of ourselves and actually go to the doctor and actually follow through when we do go to the doctor. So I mean, I understand why Trina said she got to go. But how you going to say not don't tell Towanda, like so you want her to think that somebody in Tulum just snatched you up? Like, you got to tell her you about to leave, girlfriend. She gonna understand the reason why. It's your husband. Like, I don't know. It's just, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the ending of episode 2, everybody. Thank you for your opinions, Diva. That was the ending for episode 2. Unfortunately, that was, I'm sure, was a very tough decision for Trina to make. The sisters in the past have normally always chosen the sisterhood over their husband. If we know the family values, anytime that any of the husbands had something going on, the sisters overcame that. But in this situation, it looks like Trina's making some different decisions. Trina don't want to mess up on this marriage.
Yeah.
She really loves this man. She is willing to leave her sister's bachelorette party that no other sister is at to come and support her husband. So I thought that was a very interesting take. Just being everything that they have done in the past as far as their husbands. I thought it was interesting that Vaughn was like, why are you coming? But then again, that's such like a man to be like, oh, it ain't that big of a deal. Unless they daggone dead on the table, then it's a big deal all of a sudden. But, I'm sure that was a tough moment for Towanda too, because then it's like the only sister that came to support me now has to leave because she got her own stuff going on. And especially when they're used to always being there for the sisters. So this was an interesting perspective, a very good episode. I mean, I expected worse from Tamar's podcast situation, but it turned out, to be a decent podcast episode from what we've seen.
Right.
I am very unfortunate, and I dislike that the ladies, specifically Tamar and Toni, are not there to really support Towanda in this moment, and I look at it from an aspect of, okay, we've had our differences, we've had our issues in the past, but she is the only sister that has not had a wedding, who has been there to support everybody else. I think that everybody could have took a moment out of their schedule to be there to support her for these little moments. Even if you would have came for just a day, it was better than not showing up at all. So that truly has disappointed me. What is Toni going to bring this season? Probably nothing per usual, as she always does. Toni comes in, she shows her cute little face, swags her body around the camera a few times, and then go on about her business. Tamar, the bitterness that you are carrying, you got to heal that up, honey. You got to heal it up. You are really bitter with Towanda. You say you don't know why. You said that y'all have had issues for a very long time. We got to heal this up. Forgiveness is so important. Even if you don't, like Towanda, you need to be able to forgive and move forward. Be there to support your sister, as she has been there to support you.
Well, I want to say I thought this was a very good episode from beginning to end.
Yes.
They're keeping it real. They're keeping it 100. But like I said, only reason why I'm not getting on Tamar with this whole Tamar-Towanda situation, because I think Towanda does play games. In the confessional, we didn't mention this, but when they was asking Tamar about this whole wedding thing, she said to the producer, wasn't y'all the one told me that she didn't want me there? She said, wasn't y'all the one said that I don't want to know what Towanda said about me? And you saw how they did show a little snippet of Towanda saying, well, she don't need to be here, whatever the case may be. Towanda is playing dirty, nasty games. And I think the other game that Towanda is playing, she's playing this game of, she's trying to, she's being a producer. She's being a producer. Because remember, she didn't want Who didn't she didn't want Scrappy's dad on the show to tell his story last season. Now all of a sudden, because Scratchy all of a sudden got back with his father, which you should be happy that he's reconciled with his father because his mother is gone. Now he's not going to be on the show this season. This was your beloved nephew, your sister that is gone, her child, her only child, and you're not going to allow him to come get a couple of coins from this show? You're not going to allow him on the show. Why? You was all over him season 1 because that was your storyline. But now that you got your wedding as a storyline, you done kicked him to the curb in the trash. So Wanda's playing super producer. I think, and I told you, I'm 10 toes down. You know, Tamar has her things with her, but I do believe, Tamar, that this chick does not call her until it's time to film. And I think they also know that filming without Tamar is not going to work. The show ain't going to be nothing. Filming without Tamar, that show is not going to be anything. Tamar kicked off that show, drama or not, whatever you want to call it. Tamar kicked off the show, and filming without Tamar is not going to be anything. It's going to be trashy. So I think she knows that, and I think she plays games with Tamar. And I think to get Tamar to make sure she came back to the show, and remember this year, Tamar's not a friend of, she's actually a castmate. I think to get her back, she tried to play her and say, you know what? I want you to be my bridesmaid. And then you got Tamar all happy, and then Tamar sends you a video. She don't hear from you. She's playing dirty, nasty games to Wanda. And she and if nobody else don't see her, I see her. I see her.
Yeah. I feel that Tamar is getting back what she has put out in the universe. That's what I feel. Them first couple of seasons, Tamar was horrible to them girls. Horrible. Each and every last one of them. Talked about their husbands being trash, low down to the dirt. Her husband, this right here is totally different. Y'all remember that? But we'll see.
You remember? Listen. I remember.
I feel like it's coming full circle to Tamar, everything that has happened. That's just what I personally feel. You know, maybe Towanda do have a vendetta against her. I can't speak to that, but I personally feel based off of what I'm seeing, this is karma coming back full circle. This is karma. But, you know, overall, a great episode, Diva. I am, again, going to give this a 9. I was entertained from the beginning until the end of the episode. So good. The way that they are. I also love the way that they are entering in the rest of the season as they kind of go out into other scenes and things like that. Very creative this season. They really brought the game with the Braxtons this season. They brought a game plan, and it's playing out great so far. I'm truly enjoying it. So I am giving it a 9. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Leave your thoughts on episode 2, season 2 of the Braxtons, Trouble in Paradise. Diva, your final thoughts and your rating?
I'm with you. I'm giving it a 9. Like I said, they kept it 100. They kept it real, from the car accident to how Towanda feels about the way her sisters are treating her with this whole wedding situation. I'm loving it. I feel like that they're giving us authentic reality TV. Okay. And we're seeing, even though Toni thinks she's hiding who she is. I
gotta stick with this.
Well,
She says she see it too, Diva, and she got to stick with it.
Okay, cool. I hear you, 48. Okay. We see you, boo. We see you. Child.
You got to be able to see the situation with your stigmatism in mind.
Okay. Boom. There it is. We see you, boo. So, yeah. So, I just really feel like, you know, I feel like they're giving us reality TV versus, like I said, with some of these others. Like, you get so sick of the stupid scenes. Oh, you don't like me. You didn't speak to me when I saw you at the event. Like, you know, I'm loving it, and I'm here for this season. And I enjoy watching it, Royaire. So you know what I'm trying to say? I'm enjoying watching it.
Me too.
So that's what I like. But you know what? We do need to speak to Andre.
Yeah. Listen, Andre.
Okay. He said, I
Put
believe
out there.
her and this Tamar over the years, that she is numb to it. I completely understand you love your family, but your peace is way more important. All right, Jaden. Okay.
Jaden.
All right, Jaden. I hear your side, but I mean, Tawanda, isn't Tamar the baby sister?
Yes.
Well, you got to have grace for the youngest.
But you got to have grace for the middle too, because the middle always get forgotten.
Well, that's true.
They have used Towanda as a crutch all of their lives. Each and every last one of them sisters. Ain't nobody been there for Towanda. Nobody.
And she been there for everybody. It is messy. It's messy.
Yeah.
This whole situation is very messy.
It's very messy. I mean, I will say in all seriousness, at the end of the day, everybody has a plight in the fight. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has done something to hurt someone. Everybody has done something to not be supportive of someone, to not be there, whatever the case may be. There is flight all across the board. And so, you know, hopefully the sisters can really kind of figure out how to navigate all of this that's going on, because I know it's not easy. It's not easy. You're still grieving. You still, you know, Mama Evelyn is not young, you know, so you're still trying to process, you know, taking care of your mom, making sure your dad is well. Then you got all of this stuff going on with Ashlee. You know, your niece has passed away. You know, there is so much that has transpired over. What's the Braxtons been out since what, 2012, somewhere around there? So all of these years of just traumatic trauma piling up on top of one another. And so the girls are giving reality TV. That's all I can say. They giving reality TV. And if we're going to have reality TV, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see.
I'm here with you. And and same with me.
Well, people, listen, we got an 8 out of 10. We got a 9. He's giving it an 8 though because of Tracy still. All righty. And we got another 9. So all righty. Well, listen, the people are loving the episode, Diva. They are loving this show. Make sure y'all hit the like button on Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva and Royaire's World. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe to both channels. We appreciate y'all for joining us. We will be back next Sunday for episode 3 of the Braxtons season 2. We will also be back tomorrow for episode 3 of Real Housewives of Potomac. The girls, they, you know, hopefully we can do a little better this episode 3. You know, it was a little boring, if you may, last week with this stank breath, and you know, we had a little sound bowl cleaning, and you know, we were introduced to 2 new girls. So we'll see. Hopefully they can continue to bring some reality and shake some things up as season 10 of the Real Housewives of Potomac continues to unfold. And then we'll see how this stuff works out with Wendy. You know, I did hear that Ebony K. Williams did a live with Carlos King about the situation. And so she did say, you know, Ebony is an attorney. She as well has done some judging as well on TV. And so she said that Wendy and her husband are definitely looking at time. They're definitely looking at time in jail. So we'll see.
Who's see.
Cookie, Karen's best friend.
Oh, Cookie has been dragging with not Cookie.
Yes, she has. I did see those. I seen that Emmanuel on Instagram.
No, what Cookie saying?
She has been basically she was under the one that I seen, she was under NECA's comment, and she was basically saying that all of NECA's jewelry and clothes is accounted for, but Wendy's is not.
So Cookie trying to be a friend of, huh?
Yes, Cookie is trying to get her big boobs on the TV, okay? All of them, all right?
Well, Cookie, I guess if you could get you some Real Housewives of Potomac coin, why not, right?
Why not? Oh, Raheem, I totally agree with you on this. I said this to Diva last week when we were talking. Wendy, I question everything she does now. She has ruined the season for me. I no longer see her the same. I'm going to try my best to be judgmental based off, or not judgmental. I'm going to try my best to talk about the show and talk about Wendy based off of what we see this season. But because this information has now come out, it has definitely uncovered the blind.
It's tainted us, right?
Yes. Yes.
You can't, how can you see her the same? We saw the Wendy statement.
Yes, we did. We showed it a little earlier.
And yeah. I mean, the listen, when it's this bad and incriminating, how much can you really say? Yeah, and you quit your job, so you want to correct and say you wasn't fired at the university, you quit or you resigned, whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is that this look is a bad look for Wendy.
Very bad.
Just period. And so, and I just can't see her the same. I cannot. Yeah. And then you throw this fabulous picture up there. Wait, does she have the ring? And she still got the ring on, it looks like, in this picture. Don't it? The hand that's up.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, it's on this one right here. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I mean, come on, Wendy. You still don't get it.
Yeah.
You should have cut off your hands in that picture and just showed your face.
Oh, Cynthia Bailey out here supporting. Okay, Cynthia, we see you.
You know, go ahead, 50.
Don't do 50. Don't do 50.
You know what though? Because we all fall short. I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them supporting her.
And I think it's much easier for them to support, being that they have their own struggles being on reality TV. So yeah. And like we said, you all are innocent until proven guilty. Right. So there may be a case that she go before a jury or a judge and they find her innocent. We don't know.
And you know what, too? Remember, Cynthia, when she married Peter, there was no money. Remember, she was on the phone begging the father to pay for something?
He was taking all her money. So
she was begging the father to pay for part of the wedding, and there was no flowers. It was just, that wedding was tragic.
Yeah.
So definitely Cynthia knows, like, the struggles of trying to keep up on these shows with the glam and the clothes and all of that. So I'm not mad at them supporting her. I feel like when you get in trouble, that's when you know who your friends really are.
Yes.
Right? It's like it's easy to be with somebody while they up. But if I fall short, can you still stand by my side? That's when you know who your friends are. So I'm not mad at them supporting her.
I'm going to ask this, Diva, and then we can get on out of here. You know, Phaedra and Apollo were kind of in a similar, well, not very similar, but they had a little situation going on as well when they were on the television. Mm-hmm. And so I have the belief, this is my personal belief, there is nothing to prove this legally. These are just my personal beliefs, everyone. Mm-hmm. I believe that Apollo took those charges on behalf of Phaedra as well.
100%.
Okay. Do we think that Eddie should take all of the charges on behalf of Wendy so that she can stay and raise the 3 beautiful children?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Take the hit for the fam.
You the man.
You the man. Take the hit for the fam. I do believe that. And that's why I never forget that garage scene when she was like, what she said, get out of here.
Go away from me with this, Apollo, please.
Yeah, okay. I really believe that he whispered in her ear, like, don't play me on this TV. Mm-hmm. Know that I'm taking this hit for us, so don't even try to play me. Don't take this all the way to the bank. Okay. So I do believe that to this day, I will never rest. I would send 10 toes down that Apollo took the hit for the family because he didn't want to see Phaedra go down and they got their 2 kids and all of that. So yes, I do wholeheartedly believe that 100%. And I feel like Eddie should do the same. Amanda said, Royaire's, Ebony did say that Wendy wouldn't be able to play dumb, especially since she's the one who has reminded us of how smart she is. Just saying. She's not, neither one of them can play dumb, right? Because you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. So how does a lawyer and somebody with a PhD can play dumb? So they can't, but if he just says, I pressured my wife or whatever, I don't think Eddie will be able to. Phaedra was never formally charged. And while I think Phaedra was involved, there was no evidence to implicate, unlike Wendy. Oh, God. But he could say that, because he's the one that sent her an email.
He sent the email.
Sent the email.
Out the plane.
Right.
He was the forefront of all of this. So he can take the fall for those charges and relieve her.
Yeah.
He can do that. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, he can do it. He can just say, listen, my wife,
she had nothing to do with it. It was my idea, my thought. I did this.
I sent an email. Now she would still get, because she did, almost like that baby Emmanuel, the mother did go along and try to act like somebody did the baby, right? So she could have maybe lesser charges and not all the fraud charges. But Wendy told, she did Lawson, you are correct. But she could, she could maybe just get those charges versus all of the other fraud charges against her. I'm just saying that, maybe he could take the hit for the family. Ain't no need for both of them to be locked up.
Right.
I'm feeling for the kids. I really am. I really am. And then if something happens to both of them, I'm hoping they do like they did with Teresa Giudice and her husband. Let one of them go to jail first. But it depends, because Teresa's sentence wasn't that long.
Right.
I don't know if they would do that. If Wendy's sentence is years and then his is years, I don't know if they would give him that break. Because I know Teresa's sentence might have been a year or something like that, and then the husband had to go in. So I don't know if your sentence is longer, would they delay it and do that? It's just a very sad situation. It's just a sad situation. And regardless, when we do these shows, I don't really have, I'm doing it, we recap based upon what we see happening on the TV. But I don't know these people to the point where I'm like wishing somebody, goes to jail or anything like that. And listen, they were wrong, but I feel horrible for them that she thought that it was necessary to take it this far. And like, there's an article out there now that I'm gonna drop a video on soon, where they talk about all the different housewives that have gotten into fraud trouble or whatever. And how the second season she came and she just changed herself with the breast implants, the butt, BBL, just leveling up on the clothes. I just think it was too much. And overall, it's sad.
It is very sad. At the end of the day, it's all about pleasing people. You get on these shows, you get on social media. And as much as people love to say that they don't care what people think, we care. We care.
Yeah,
we really do care, especially when you're on a platform of that magnitude. You have all types of opinions coming at you left and right on a consistent basis, and it affects you. It does. That's just the reality of it. It really does. So, well, yes, people, listen, join us tomorrow as we will recap the next episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. We'll see what Wendy brings us and the rest of the cast. As you all know, Monique Samuels is going to be making an appearance this season. And so I think we're going to pick up off on that last scene, Diva, where Cookie and all of the girls were explaining that Tracy was trying to get with Monique's ex-husband. So we'll see. I'm excited about that. Hopefully they'll bring us something good. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the like button on both channels, Chronicles of the Gray-Haired Diva and Royaire's World. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. Make sure you also join Diva most nights during the week at 8 p.m. for Trending Topics. That is still going on as well. So anything else?
No, good show. Thanks, Fran.
Great.
And usually we do 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for women on both our channels for the Real Housewives of Potomac recap.
Yes. So join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. Well, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Shout out to the Rewatch crew. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. If there's any other shows that you guys are out here watching and you would like us to recap, let us know down in the comment section. We can definitely look into it. Well, if nothing else, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe, and we will catch y'all next time. Good night and goodbye, everybody. What's up, beautiful people? We are back, and we are recapping season 10 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Well, this season, Kiera and Wendy are having a little disagreement with Wendy's dismissive behavior, which she's been accused of many a times. Guess who's back? Monique Samuels, and Giselle says she was happy to reconnect with Monique and see if she's still the same person. And of course, the queen herself, the Grande Dame, has finally been released from jail and will have her season 10 premiere on The Real Housewives of Potomac. So listen, join me and Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva as we recap this season of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And it's all in good fun, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to both channels.
Royaire's world.